Hello everybody, JB here, quick review. Quick review of Saturday's match between Burnley and Chelsea. Chelsea winning the game by 2-0. Goals from Neto and Pedro. I think is it Pedro who scored the second? I can't remember. Yeah, very disappointing result. Burnley had two or three big decisions go against us. But it's not just. I'm going to talk about the refereeing decisions in a minute and talk about the overall performance, and I think as a whole how we are performing in the league, because I'm very concerned about a lot of things. Firstly, I have to be honest, the refereeing on Saturday was pathetic. There was a couple, maybe two or three controversial talking points that I want to touch on now. The first was, I think it was 0-0 or something, when they get a goal kick, Chelsea. Robert Sanchez takes it from the centre of the 6-yard box. Now the rule, I believe, that states that a goal, as long as it's inside or on the edge of the 6-yard box, on the line of the 6-yard box, you can take a goal kick as long as it's stationary. The ball was stationary. Sanchez took the goal kick. He went short to Trevor Chalobah, who then decided to handle the ball and replace the ball in the corner of the left-hand corner of the 6-yard box. Now, to me, in my book, that's cheating, and the referee hasn't seen it. There's about 5 or 6 Burnley players complaining about the decision, or the lack of anything from the referee. They've complained to the referee, and for whatever reason, Peter Banks, the referee, neither Peter Banks, the referee, or Rob Jones, the the VAR man, has failed to spot both of them. It's clear and blindingly obvious. You've got 17 camera angles. Use them. Give the only decision I think you should make at that point is give a penalty. The PGMOL honestly never ceased to amaze me. So that should have been a Burnley penalty. Then there's the second bone of contention on the first Chelsea's goal scored by Pedro Neto. Nothing wrong with the cross or the goal scored by him, but I do have a beef with Mark Cucurrupt. I think when he controls it or tries to control it, his arm is clearly sticking out for me. So that the referee, I think, should be blown up for handball. They checked it for all of about 5 seconds on VAR and decided to give the goal because it's Chelsea. They're mega rich, they're filthy rich, they're from London, and they're the world champs. That's the reason why they give it. This isn't a fair league. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not complaining about budgets and what we've got to spend and what Chelsea have to spend. But that goal should have been ruled out and not allowed to stand. But it stood because it's Chelsea and they've got the money and they're stinking rich and they won the world champions. That's why they gave it. Nothing else. So we're 1-0 down at half time, but we've not really. I mean, a couple of points to take from the first half before we get on to conscientious decision number 3 is the attitude of certain players, i.e. Jadon Anthony. Now, Jadon Anthony's had a good start to the season, don't get me wrong, but the last few weeks he's gone way off the boil. He had a couple of good opportunities to sprint away, and he allowed Santos to get back and tackle him each and every time. And to be honest, it wasn't. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I mean, people will say that Chelsea are a superior side in fitness and whatever, but it just isn't good enough. And people can look at me and say you bang out of order. I'm sorry, but Jadon Anthony has been living on borrowed time for about 8 weeks now. And Scott Parker, now I'll turn on him in a bit because obviously I'm not happy about certain aspects of his managership at the moment, and this is why Bournemouth and Fulham dispense with his services. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute we sack Scott Parker, but I want to touch on why it's gone badly wrong. Anyway, so we're 1-0 down in the second half. Ian Fleming, right, he's had one chance the whole game. Now people say he's taking it on the up and all that. That just may be. But when you're in that position, 7 or 8 yards from goal, that's a chance you should be taking. No ifs, no buts, no maybes about it. It's a gilt-edged chance, and we missed it. And we've missed it so badly. You know, the ball's still flying into the stratosphere as we speak. It's a big chance, and we waste it. It's just not good enough. Then the third contentious refereeing decision of the afternoon from Messrs Banks and Jones, the AR man Jones. It's a penalty. That's a definite penalty. Right, so what's happening is the Chelsea man and Esteve are getting the Chelsea man. He's one of the defenders, one of the centre backs they have on the books. Anyway, so the first one, referee pulls him up, insisting, pushing from the Chelsea player. So Ron Larson, the sub, whips in the corner. Basically, there's pushing and shoving again, and Esteve gets chucked to the ground, and the Chelsea defender has, well, shall we say, more than a fistful of shirt. You know what I mean? It's totally, and a Chelsea player in all of this gets booked for it. Now, in my book, if you're going to book somebody for chugging someone back when the ball's actually clearly gone into play, then you've got to give a penalty. And for whatever reason, those corrupt bastards, Jones and Banks, didn't give the penalty, and I don't understand why. Because it's plain and obvious. He went down the other end. It was down the Chelsea who were attacking, and Esteve had done that to the Chelsea player. Oh yeah, referee wouldn't wait to give the penalty straight off the bat. It's not right and it's not fair. Chelsea wrap it up with the second goal. By then we put poor men forward, but there's a lot of criticism. You know, I can't just lay the blame at the referee's door. I've got to lay him a bit at Scott Parker's door. And this is where my last bit of 3 minutes come in, because as a whole, we can't now, you know, listen, I'm cheesed off at the result. I'm more cheesed off at the result 2 weeks prior, because if we'd have beaten West Ham, then the result wouldn't be as bad as the Chelsea result wouldn't have been as bad stomach. But unfortunately, the way the things have gone at the moment for us, we can't buy a win. And I just wondered if we just spent, you know, I don't think our attack's good enough. I've said it. We needed to get another striker in, but we fannied around, and in the end we ended up panic buying Broadger for £20 million. Now, I'm not saying he's the answer to our prayers. I never said he was going to be the answer, but you know, if you're signing somebody from Chelsea, you know, he has to be good, and I thought Broadger might be a good signing, but maybe there's a lesson in not buying him, because we brought him to Southampton and he got injured and he never played a kick to ball in anger for them last season. So maybe there's a lesson in that. Like Foster, as I've said on many a review, isn't good enough. Zian Fleming plays better as a number 10. It's far from good enough. You know, listen, we're all the good players that we have brought in: Florentino, Chayomba, Uga Chukwu, who's been a big hit with me. I like Big Les, I think he's brilliant. I think we've made some really bad signings. Twan Zebe, I don't like. I think he gets relegated more often than not. We just haven't learnt the lessons, and that's Scott Parker, Matt Williams. I don't think we're good enough. I think we're poor up front. Broadger was just a panic buy now when I look back at it, and I'm worried now because we're going to lose Hannibal and several others to the stupid AFCON, which, by the way, should be played not during the European football season. It puts certain teams at a disadvantage to others, and I don't like that. The AFCON is an absolute pointless tournament, and you can quote me on that, but at the end of the day, is Scott Parker's management of the team good enough? Not in my opinion. Yes, people say the run that we've had. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we had an horrendous run to start with. And, you know, West Ham we should have got points from. Liverpool we should have had points from. Manchester United we should have got points from. You know, the list of teams that we should have got points from is horrendous. We should be on 14, 15, 16 points at best. Not stuck on 10 or 11. I'm not saying that, you know, we could be 5 or 6 points better off if we'd have game managed properly in some of the games. Yes, the refereeing doesn't help, but game management doesn't help. We never laid a glove on Arsenal. Having said that though, you can't lay a glove on Arsenal at the best of times. So you brandish that problem in mobile. But, you know, honestly, you know, we've got to try and take on the challenge of the Premier League better than what we're doing. In terms of game management, in terms of attitude, but certain players just don't care or don't want to care, and it's just not good enough. And Burnley now, in the next 3 games, will determine where we are at the end of the season. If we don't win any of those, then I'm afraid, listen, Scott Parker at the moment's got credit in the bank, but for how long? If he chooses to get, if we keep losing under him, then I think Alan Pace has got a decision to make. But it's looking very grim. Bottom 3. I don't like being second from bottom, but the attitude of certain players, and I think the management style and the substitutions and the way he sets his team up have to change. Otherwise, we will go down, and we'll go down with a fucking whimper. Not good enough. Not good enough by half.